This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
It's because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I think that's taking it to another level.
Yeah.
Log on and join our live conversation.
He said this as we were coming on TV.
Hey, this is John Cena, and Daily Blast Live starts right now.
3, 2. Well, look at that. Thank you, John Cena. We have an interview with him coming up in just minutes.
Are we going to tell him he wasn't wearing a watch?
Yeah, it's okay. He's John Cena. He can do what he wants.
John Cena.
Welcome to DBL, guys. It's Monday, July 22nd. I'm here with Erica and Brandon. I'm Jeff. Let's get to it, guys. Tonight, David Spade is opening up about dealing with loss, specifically this loss of his sister-in-law, Kate Spade. The famed fashion designer took her own life last June at the age of 55, if you remember. Now, David tells the New York Times, quote, "I feel like Katie wouldn't have done it 5 minutes later, but these things happen and there's no going back."
Yeah, I can only imagine how many times he's replayed that throughout his mind, you know, and he's dealt with a lot of loss. I mean, Chris Farley, his best friend, and even after that, people were trolling him saying, "I wish it would have been you who died instead of Chris Farley." So he's had to, I can see him being in some dark places.
And his stepfather, I believe.
And his stepfather as well.
Age,
so,
right.
I mean, you look at that, you can see him being in some dark places, but now he's got a new show coming out. And I see this as like a rebirth. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, David Spade, just turned 55. So I see this show being something that's great for him. Chris Rock, a lot of other celebrities have already gave him their well wishes. So you know he's going to have all-star A-list celebrities on that show. And like I said, I just think it's going to be one of those things that gets him up in the morning and gets him going. And he doesn't have to think about the darkness, but now the light.
I think it's super helpful that he talked about that 5 minutes, because anyone who has been affected by suicide thinks that way. If I would have changed my route, if I would have been here as opposed to there, and you can't think that way because it'll haunt you for the rest of your life, and the person who wasn't able to deal with their pain wouldn't want you to walk around with the pain that they weren't able to deal with. So that 5 minutes rings so true. I know a lot of people are going to understand that, but also understand that you have to take that and move on.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if he opens up to that other side of his life, because everyone always sees David Spade as the funny guy, right? But if he has his own show, I wonder if he's going to open up about that part of his life, dealing with loss, having more serious conversations. That'd be interesting.
And he'll have the ability to do that because he said that it's going to be him and 3 other comedians up there. And I don't think he's just going to do, like, it's just going to be funny bits the entire time. I think he will open up about that, because then it brings some sort of validity to the show and to him as well. So I'm going to watch.
I think David Spade's always kind of had that sad clown thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, happy birthday, and we're wishing him the best. All right, guys, I love this next story. The Lion King is a big hit at the box office. It made $185 million during its opening weekend, despite the bad reviews. That's the part I love. The audience loved it, giving the movie an 89% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and Aquaman actor Jason Momoa is on the same page. He posted these photos on Instagram with his family, saying the movie made him cry numerous times. I'm sure it's going to make me cry. I'm a crier at movies. We haven't gone yet with my son because I don't want to ruin someone else's experience. It's going to be our first time at the theater, so I don't know how he's going to be. But are there any movies that made you guys cry specifically?
Just on Saturday, I watched Waiting to Exhale for the 2011th time,
Gets me every time.
and I cried.
Yeah. And even the songs with the movie.
That is the best soundtrack of all time. The best soundtrack of all time.
Do you have one that makes you cry?
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. I can't watch it on TBS, TNT, Netflix, whatever it comes on. I will cry. No, when the mom dies.
Yeah, the end.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm so tight with my mom, and it's like she did everything for him to get him to normalize his life in a way. And then when she just died at the end, I remember. I think I was watching it with my aunt when I was a kid, and I just started crying. And my aunt was like, "Boy, you're going to your mama in about 5 minutes," you know, because she didn't die, but it just hit me hard every time I watched it.
That's a good one too. I shut it off before that part comes on. Much like I do with this movie Armageddon. Every time it's on, I shut it off. When Bruce Willis throws Ben Affleck out of there, you know, and then he rips off the patch, and then the daughter's like against the glass, and then that song comes on. By Aerosmith, what? Nobody?
Yeah.
I know the song.
I could stay awake. Don't do it, Daddy.
About to make me.
Dude, that's the worst, man.
So you none of the movies you've ever watched actually have an ending.
No, once I find out, like, I just shut them off and,
So
hey,
it's like-
today's going to be a good day.
Me and Breaking Bad. Me
And
Breaking
scene.
Bad. I didn't watch the last Breaking
Oh, that's
Bad.
right. Yeah, but you just didn't want it to be over.
Oh, yeah, that's
But now
right.
you're going to
Yeah.
watch it
Yeah.
because, wait.
The
there
two
wasn't-
drug mules, no, that's it. They were
Oh, man,
promoting
now you can't
tequila,
watch it.
like tequila.
Oh, man. We should have followed up on that.
We can drink the tequila together.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
do tequila.
All right, guys, two Hollywood best friends are teaming up. Again, I'm really excited about this. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are reportedly reuniting on screen. The childhood best friends are in talks to be in Ridley Scott's latest film. It's called The Last Duel, and it takes place in 14th century France, a stark contrast to their most famous film together. Good Will Hunting came out almost 22 years ago, and they both took home Oscars that year for Best Screenplay. Reports say they are helping write this latest movie. So, DBL Nation, do you think they can recreate that same magic?
I hope so. I mean, I was a huge fan of Good Will Hunting, top 5 for me, and I think they can, and I hope they do.
And I hope it's something like dark and action-packed, because that's what we're missing. And since we're on the topic of, you know, people reuniting, I want to see Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker back together. That's who I want to see. Rush Hour 40, I don't care. Like, just bring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker back together, please. Anybody for you guys?
I think they could do that.
Yeah, I guess. I want to talk about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, though, because I think the success of this movie is going to be very important, especially for Ben Affleck. I mean, there's been a lot that's happened over the years, and I think people are really going to be rooting for the success of this film just because he could use another comeback, and I think this would be a great way to do it.
With his best friend.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, guys, we have to give a big DBL shout out to Prince George. Today is his 6th birthday, and the palace shared those adorable pictures of the future king, and they were taken by his mom, Duchess Kate. Isn't that lovely?
Aww.
But here's what people are up in arms about. They're saying they broke royal protocol because the kid was smiling in the pictures.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, here's the thing. The monarch needs to be, in order for any of us to really take it seriously in the generations to come, they're going to have to be more relatable because we don't follow that same rule of we're just going to give you respect because you're there.
Right.
Like, it's almost like, especially the generation behind us is like, tell us why you're important. And if they don't understand, like, and there's no sense of connection, then you have a problem.
Yeah, you got to smile. And he looks a lot like his dad. I think we have a side by side. He looks a lot like, George looks a lot like William. Look at that.
Aww.
Well,
Oh, Pooh
See, he's kind of smiling there. He's breaking protocol right there.
at least he knows that's his kid. That's the first thing that popped in my head, Erica. What do you want me to
It's a
do?
good thing.
Thank you. I mean, kings and princes have concubines and all that stuff. You never know these days. You didn't watch Game of Thrones, so you don't know nothing about it. Monarchs and royalty and bloodlines and all
Wait,
that.
concubines, aren't they castrated?
I just was going to go right by it. I have no idea what that means.
No, I thought that was like the king's mistress or whatever.
I'm scared to even find out.
I think concubines are castrated.
Did I mess that up?
You might.
Well, no, you didn't mess it up, but if they're castrated, then that would still be his child.
Yeah, that's
How does that happen?
So because
If
they're
you're
working,
castrated, no more child.
right, for the concubine, not for the royal.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, let's go. We got
He was saying
don't know
that she
how to-
get pregnant by a concubine, but there's no way for that to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But I thought the concubine was just the king's, like, you know, side chick, the one that when they used to, like, DM back in the day.
King's side chick. All right, we're moving on. Our EP just stood up, so that means it's time to move on. All right, guys, Keanu Reeves is stealing everyone's heart yet again. Stephanie Jones, try following that.
So whilst Keanu was filming Bill and Ted Face Music in Louisiana, something amazing happened. A woman and her sons put this sign out on their front lawn. It says, "You're breathtaking," which is a reference to The Matrix. Now, Keanu saw it, stopped by to autograph the sign, and even took a photo with the family. So, Keanu, do you want to stop by DBL for me, babe?
Oh, that was pretty good, Steph. I forgot all about Brandon's little spiel there. That was very nice.
What's wrong with my spiel?
I don't know. I don't know why.
There was a fatal flaw.
That's not that impressive.
We'll get the correct definition after the break.
Thank
How about
you.
that?
Thank you.
DBL is live, and coming up, John Cena is the ultimate nice guy. DBL co-host Tori Showman goes one-on-one with the wrestler turned movie star to find out how he's giving back to America's first responders. Plus, Keith Urban is sharing some secrets about what goes down in the bedroom with Nicole Kidman. Oh, but should he? We want your DBL take. That's next.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Get it on tape. Get it on tape. Huh? Who's right? Who's wrong?
Are we on?
Who's right? Who's wrong?
So a concubine is a mistress.
Yeah.
But the issue is, Brandon was saying at least he knows that it's his child.
Yep.
And he said, because there's like concubines and stuff, which would be just a female on a female.
I messed
which
that up
means
because that means the
they
wife
can't have a child.
Yeah, the wife should.
So it would still be his child.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
I
messed that
mixed
part up. I
up
messed that part.
concubine with eunuch. Which would be the
Which is
male
Game of
assistant.
Thrones.
Which was
Game of Thrones, that guy.
Varys was
You remember that name? I couldn't think of that.
Varys,
I
that's
didn't
right. 'Cause
anticipate
I know that
having this
word.
conversation, so I didn't like brush up on my language.
Your old English.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew what a concubine was either.
I knew because of Marco Polo on
I've
Netflix.
heard because, like I said,
I keep telling you, watching Marco Polo on Netflix. That's
There's some
it just
concubines
popped
in
up
there?
my-
And
it
eunuchs.
popped up my head. Yeah. Genghis Khan, not Genghis Khan.
Genghis.
Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan.
Who's Kublai?
The grandson that
Another
actually
Khan.
took
Oh,
over the
really?
Song Dynasty. Did you watch that Marco Polo one?
Is it on
You gotta-
Netflix?
It's so great.
What's it
Yes,
on?
It's on Netflix. It's
Marco Polo.
great.
Oh,
They were
we're
going to
watching-
come out with a season 2, then Harvey Weinstein got in trouble, so then that cut the funding
is
or whatever
he-
it is. It's Weinstein Company.
Really?
It's by Weinstein. I was locked in. No, they were going for season 3.
Ooh, you know
2
what
seasons.
started again? The football.
Friday Night
Last
Lights?
Chance You.
Yeah.
Oh, that started
Last Chance
it.
You.
Yeah.
You watched that?
Yeah,
I love
occasionally.
that show. It's great. All right, we gotta go. Welcome back to DBL. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are couple goals. Did you know Keith writes about his wife in some of his songs? Let's listen to the lyrics of Gemini. Is responding in an interview. She says, quote, "I don't censor his art, but it is a little embarrassing. It's better than saying, God, I'm so bored. Make an effort, Nicole." So we want your DBL take. Is it okay to talk about your sex life in public? Let's get to their questions.
Before I get into this, he should have just said lady in the streets, freaking the sheets like everybody else.
But then he would be in some copyright infringement
Okay, there we go. Mara from Facebook says, I do talk about my sex life with my friends, but only with those who are open to sharing. I'm kind of like that. I have select friends. I talk about my sex life openly with my mother. She's my best friend. But this show does a great job of exposing my sex life as well, so you all know.
You do a great job of exposing it. There you
We
go.
can't talk about what we don't know. Nicole from Facebook says, I overheard my husband talking about what we did on our honeymoon with his brothers. It was mortifying to know that his family knew our bedroom secrets. Nicole, I think this is the important part. Both partners have to be in agreement that it's okay to divulge that type of information. For me, my husband's Canadian, and to be honest, you Alberta people, hi, my family in Alberta.
Hey, there you go.
We're on right now. I do feel like y'all are a little less puritanical than Americans are. So he seems to be a little bit more open, but not like detailed, just open.
They're more likely to talk about sex, right?
They'll talk about sex.
Yeah, there we go. Mike from YouTube says, it's one thing to share details about your sex life if it's positive and another if it's negative. I do share some of the good when it's among people I'm close to. Well, there you go. Just share the good stuff. I'm with you there. I don't know if I'm with you there, but I don't know. Me and my wife are very open about everything we do, and we're very open on this show as well. But there are some things I like to hold, just close between me and my wife or me and my family. So that's just for me, but hey, to each their own.
Yeah. Rachel from YouTube says, I let my friends know that my ex was a good lover, and 2 of them ended up sleeping with him. Keep your mouth shut when it comes to your partners in bed. No, don't get a close-up on me. Get a close-up on Erica's face right now, please. Yeah. Should have kept that to yourself. It sounds like your ex got that Pete Davidson in him, huh? If you know what I mean, Piggy Smalls.
I do know what you mean.
If you know what I mean, Piggy Smalls. But yeah, you can't really. They really weren't your friends from the beginning. They were eyeing him for the longest time. They just waited for y'all to break up. And the fact that you said that he was a good lover, that sealed the deal.
Sneaky.
Who said they waited for them to break up?
All right. Is John Cena really the nicest guy in Hollywood? BBL co-host Tori Shulman finds out the truth when we come back.
Hey DBL Nation, it's Raquel here with the DBL Digital team. It's time for Fast Blast, where we give you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. So travelers, listen up. At least 19 people have died in Costa Rica after drinking tainted alcohol. 30,000 bottles were seized and suspected of containing tainted methanol. Now, small amounts are common in fermented drinks, but large amounts could be deadly. Now let's switch gears here. What if I told you there were some aliens here on Earth? Cue that creepy music.
Greetings.
An Oklahoma animal shelter doesn't want you to storm Area 51, but flock to their doors and adopt these out-of-this-world creatures. Now, as a proud owner of a shelter pet, I can tell you the love you'll have for them will soar across the galaxies. Now, if Disney is the most magical place on Earth, Mickey is getting greedy and ready to take over the skies. Get ready for Disney Airlines in 2021. I'm talking flight attendants in costume and Musketeer-shaped food. This will either be the coolest or scariest flight you'll ever take. And finally, one family's fishing trip took a turn into Jaws territory this weekend. Doug Nelson and his son caught what felt like a good-sized fish. Well, a great white shark agreed, snapping up that fish faster than you can yell, viral video. And that's Fast Blast for today. See ya.
Give me a line. We do what I say, and we do it now.
He said no! We're a go for extraction.
No, wait, what?
Ooh.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a clip from the new movie Playing with Fire starring John Cena. The movie isn't out until this fall, but a nationwide contest for first responders to meet John Cena is in full swing. Our very own Tori Shulman sat down with the former WWE superstar to learn more. And don't worry, she got the scoop on John's new role in Fast and the Furious 9 too. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
John Cena, welcome to Daily Blast Live. First off, congratulations on making your official Fast and Furious debut. But I must ask, the photo they put on Instagram, Vin Diesel is in front of you flexing. So do you think he's doing that on purpose to outshine your magnificent biceps?
I think you're trying to start a little bit of controversy where there is none.
Well, speaking of new movies, the Playing with Fire trailer finally dropped. It looks hilarious and adorable. So I want you to tell tell me about this contest you're doing for the movie, because a lot of first responders watch DBL, including Denver Fire and a bunch of others. So let us know about this.
Yes, so hilarious, adorable, all that stuff. Playing with Fire is a wonderful ride for the whole family. Kids will laugh, adults will laugh, and the environment is created around these elite first responders called smoke jumpers.
What kind of firefighter are you?
The Playing with Fire hooked up with Good Housekeeping, and we've come up with this hometown heroes concept, where if you are a first responder, and that's fire, medical, police, whatever, or if you know a first responder, because a lot of times they're extremely brave, but also extremely humble.
Humble, yes.
Go to goodhousekeeping.com right now and tell their story or tell your story.
Amen. We bow down here to any first responder, and I'm so glad you're giving them the spotlight they so well deserve. Besides being a WWE star, you might be known for how nice you are. You've done more Make-A-Wishes than any other human being. Talk to me about that.
Thank you very much for bringing up the Make-A-Wish.
Absolutely.
It's something that provides me with constant joy and constant fulfillment. It's an indescribable feeling to see the happiness and the joy on the faces of the children and the families that I meet.
Wow.
So if you're out there and you're listening, take the extra step, take the extra second, and try to choose kindness.
Well, thank you. You are such a gentleman. What a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
I love that guy. Thanks, Tori. Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Because we're getting our first look at the new Mr. Rogers movie. I nailed it, Steph. Good luck following that.
Oh, wish me luck. I definitely cannot follow you. In this trailer, we see a cynical journalist assigned to follow the optimistic Mr. Rogers for a magazine article and find out if he's really the guy everyone loves on TV. Take a look at this.
Profiling Mr. Rogers.
Lloyd, please don't ruin my childhood.
This piece will be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero?
We are trying to give the world positive ways of dealing with their feelings.
You can catch A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood in theaters November the 22nd. Back to you and your gorgeous singing, Jeff.
And you had to correct me on the lyrics, huh?
Yeah.
You had to correct me.
Well, you said it wrong 3 times.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Why do you keep doing a beautiful day for a neighbor? A beautiful day for a neighbor.
That doesn't make sense. How is it a beautiful day for a neighbor? You have a neighbor every day.
That's why it's a beautiful day.
I like the movie, though. I can't wait to see Tom Hanks.
Way to transition back into that. I think he's going to win an Oscar for this. I think it's pretty easy to call it now, but I think he's going to win an Oscar for this.
All right.
Putting it out there.
Okay.
All right. And I am right with the lyrics.
I'm like, I don't know what to say, but I met my neighbor yesterday.
Was it a beautiful day?
It was a beautiful day. And then after that, he texted and said, hey, I watched The Blast. And I was like, oh, awesome.
See, even better.
Yeah.
We weren't on yesterday.
He was saying that he knew the show.
Oh, okay.
So he put 2 and 2 together.
Well, because you never know these neighbors these days. Watch out for him, Eric.
Coming up on DBL, a video of Courtney Cox is going viral. We'll show you why when we come back.
Hey DBL Nation, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I wanted to take a moment and say, I know you guys, we miss each other so much. Let's bring it on and give a hug real quick. I miss you guys so much, but I want to make sure that you guys saw my beautiful model that I'm working with today, Miss Lex. What's up, Queen? Thank you for joining us. And today, we're going to be talking about some more red light beauty tips. Now, for today, I want to show you guys how you can just use one good old lipstick to create a whole look. And yes, honey, you're going to slay the whole summer away with this look, okay? So let's get it popping right away, guys. I'm gonna take a nice little coral lipstick that you might not be using all that often. Now, this guy's from Yves Saint Laurent, but good old Maybelline or CoverGirl works just fine too. Now, I like this guy because it is more on the matte side, and I'm actually going to use it as her eyeshadow, her blush, and her lip today. You ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Let's do this, honey. So just to start off, you're gonna need a single eyeshadow brush, there we go, and a single lipstick, preferably more on the matte side. Shine's just gonna look real glossy, unless you're into that kind of look. Cool. Now, we're gonna take a little bit on our little eyeshadow brush here, and I'm gonna go ahead and have you close, thanks Lex, and take a little bit from the middle of the eye outwards. And on this one, I'm gonna just blend it out, and I'll have you guys take a closer look on the next one here, on the other eye. Now with this, I like to use more of a dome-shaped brush because this is going to give a little bit more control with where you're placing this cream at. And it's also going to make sure that it looks very soft and even as well. Go ahead and turn that way for me. Queen, y'all check that eye out, girl. That's a whole look in itself, okay? Now I'm gonna have you guys look a little bit closer for this side. Ready, here we go. Taking a little bit. Notice I only tap a pinch onto my brush because you don't need very much when you are using it on your eye. And you're taking it from the inner portion of the eye outward, so it blends out very, very softly. This should take little to no time, guys. This is such a great way to get an instant payoff. And if you're feeling like, this might look a little too strong for me, tap that ring finger in there just to help sheer it out a little bit. Ooh, queen, this is throwing me back to my drag days, girl. I used to throw a little quick pink on the lid just like this. She was cute. Lex, girl, y'all see that? Beautiful. Now, for next time, guys, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit more of a cheek and a little bit of lip action. So stay tuned for our next video.
Welcome back to DBL. Actress Courtney Cox posted a pretty epic video. Let's check it out. It's pretty cool.
Oh my God.
She's what, 50 something? She's got it going
great.
on. Yeah.
She looks great, but I mean, is this what she does all day?
Good music.
If I were her, that's what I'd be doing all day. I'm going to be very honest.
You're right. I think she did enough. She did enough.
55. Yeah, girl.
That's a good video.
Yeah,
you got to work on your post. I do want to read something real fast because earlier in the show we were talking a little bit about
concubines.
There you go. And Pam B on Twitter clears it all up. A concubine is a mistress. A eunuch is a castrated male.
Thank you, Pam. We appreciate that, girl.
Thank you.
So more knowledge coming your way tomorrow on Daily Blast Live. We'll see you then. Have a good Monday, everybody.